180. Stephen, here we are on the eve of Liverpool. How excited are you, and how long have you been waiting for this night in particular?
Yeah, no, really excited to be honest. Probably 10 years in the making. Obviously, when Phil Taylor beat me here all them years ago, I always dreamt to come back here. I played a contender game, but I wanted to be part of the Premier League proper again. And yeah, it's been a lot of hard work, but I'm back here and I'm really, really looking forward to it. As soon as the Premier League was announced and I was in, I think just to be part of that and then looking for the fixture straight away for Liverpool was the massive one. And I've got so many friends and family who's messaged me wanting to be here, and unfortunately, I don't get that many tickets.
We hear of Michael talking about playing in Rotterdam and Chris in Newcastle. They put too much pressure on themselves. Have you learnt from what they've said about playing in this one big night for what you players are?
Yeah, not just from what they've said, but from my experience 10 years ago. I took a lot away from that. I think playing Phil Taylor on the biggest stage in probably my career at the time in Liverpool was a massive game for me, and I definitely put too much pressure on myself. I remember the night being so nervous, and yeah, the result didn't go my way. In fact, I got absolutely hammered. So yeah, I've learned a lot from that, and yeah. I think the first 8 weeks of the Premier League learnt me that you can't be complacent, you can't miss doubles. There's no wriggle room for missing stuff like that. So I need to be on the best of my game, regardless of where I play, and just try and keep the emotions in check. I think the first 4 weeks of the Premier League, you could see how emotional I was on the walk on, but 10 years ago as well, playing Premier League, I was coming on to Bird is the Word. It wasn't a song that really meant anything to me. Now I'm coming on to Titanium, Nothing to Lose, Bulletproof, the taglines, my son's favourite song. It's a lot more of an emotional song attached with me. And yeah, that's why you see the emotion.
Well, you touched on the song. Are you going to switch it up to do with anything to do with Liverpool and the city, like we've seen others do in their home venue?
I've not spoke about that yet. There might be a little tiny clip before the song kicks in Titanium, but I'm definitely going to keep Titanium. I think it's a song that's renowned for me now. I think everyone sings it when we're in the venues. The fans seem to absolutely love it, and yeah, I love walking onto it. I think it's a great song, and I think just on Talksport, then they were asking, was Sia going to come, but she's swinging on chandeliers.
Is it all or nothing for you tomorrow? Time is running out, and obviously Chris winning last week again put more pressure on you. Is it getting to that point where it is back against the ropes and it's all or nothing?
No, definitely not. I've took all the pressure off myself. I done that a few weeks ago, and you've seen the performances that I've had over this season. I think I've played a really good Premier League, to be honest. Although points don't show that, but I think performances do. My aim is to make sure that I'm 100% going into next year's Premier League as well, because I want to be picked for that. I'm well number 4 at the minute, and this is all just. I'm going to take it in my stride this year. It's getting used to that format again and playing in front of the tens of thousands that we play in front of. And I'm just really enjoying it, to be fair. If it does happen to turn round and I start winning nights and push myself into the playoffs, then all well and good, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm definitely not putting myself under any pressure, and definitely not that I can then take that form into going into the ranked tournaments.
Yes, Stephen, thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Stephen. You've spoken about almost getting overcome with emotion during the walk on. It's going to be a huge night for you tomorrow night. How do you go about dealing with that and sort of getting on with the game and trying to get the win?
I think just try not to think about it. It's an event. Obviously, the hypnotherapy that I've been doing over the last few years has really helped towards that. I'm a lot more calmer and collected now than I have been. And I think the emotion that you've seen from the first 4 or 5 weeks of the Premier League was just literally being new to the Premier League again. And it is going to be an emotional night. Don't get me wrong. I've got friends and family who are going to be there. But I've got to play darts. I've got to make sure that I turn up and be the best that I can be. And I want to win in Liverpool. I don't want to be crying, definitely not, and taking anything away from my performances. And I'll be very strong tomorrow. I'll make sure that I do everything right. And when I get up on that stage, I'll sing Titanium as loud as I can to the Liverpool crowd. And hopefully they can get behind me all night and be my 12th man.
The last time you played in Liverpool was as a challenger 5 years ago. That was against Rob Cross as well. How do you reflect on the sort of journey you've been on since then? And could you ever have imagined how it's all panned out?
Listen, I've always dreamed of being in the top four of the PDC. I've known for a long time how good I can be, but certain things have stepped in my way and I've not played particularly well in certain years. And obviously, the hypnotherapy has massively helped. The will to win has never been stronger. And I think I've got a great family, great management behind me, and the fan base is incredible. So it's a great time to be a Stephen Bunting fan or associated with myself. I keep trying my best, and hopefully my best is good enough to win any match these days. I think people see the stats now, how well I'm playing consistently on a regular basis, and I think that bodes well for me. I'm taking positives out of losses every time I lose. I learn, and I think that's important.
You mentioned there about the hypnotherapy. I mean, how proud are you of the mental resilience you've shown? Because to lose eight in a row, that would have, severely impacted the confidence of a lot of players. But you've come back, you've won a night, and got to another final and won a Euro tour. So the turnaround in a short space has been quite remarkable, really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, even in eight defeats, I was playing really good darts. I think there was a stat that I watched one of the games back the other day, and I think it had 500 plus averages on lost in the Premier League. So, yeah, it does hurt, but you've got to sort of brush that to one side. The Premier League's so different in everything else we do because it's magnified. There's so much press around it. It's weekly. And yeah, there's no room to really make a mistake. And I found that out in the first 8 weeks. You can't miss doubles against these elite because they're in the Premier League for a reason. And like I said, this is hopefully my first season back in the Premier League of many.
Cheers, Stephen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Stephen. Nice to see you. I think you're talking about it a little bit there, but was there any case of shock about what the schedule of the Premier League was like, sort of 10 years on and sort of settling back into that mindset and everything that comes with the Premier League?
I think the Premier League this time around was pretty similar because back then we only played one game. And for the first 8 weeks, I only played one game.
Mm.
So it was pretty similar, to be honest. But listen, I want to play every game. I want to be in the finals. I want the crowd to sing my name. That's what it's all about for me. It's a great show. And even when I wasn't in the Premier League, I was there to watch at Liverpool and Manchester. And it's a great just to be in that venue when people are playing darts, playing in front of the tens of thousands of people who are there in the venues. And like I said, it was always going to be difficult to get used to that again. But now I really believe that I'm used to it. I think the pressure's off on the walk-ons and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying my darts.
You say pressure off. How much do you think the results and the performances as well in the rest of the Premier League this year will impact selection in the future for, you say, sort of looking towards next year's Premier League and things like World Series as well?
Well, if it had been bottom of the league after the conclusion and I'd not won a game, I'd have been a bit worried. But I think to show some of the resilience I've showed, some of the great performances I've showed as well, to currently be world number four, hopefully going into the Wales and that ranking could even rise even more. So, yeah, I think I'm in a great position. I need to keep doing what I'm doing, and I want the selectors to know that, yeah, I love to play in the Premier League. It's an absolute privilege with being part of that. And yeah, I don't just want to be here for a one shot wonder. I want to be here for a long time. And I still believe I've still got quite a few years left in me to perform at the top level.
You keep ticking these things off in your career back in the Premier League in the top four in the world. What are the sort of goals for yourself, the next things you want to tick off that you haven't already achieved in your career?
Possibly to win some more majors. Definitely the Wales. I believe it's in my grasp. I believe I can do it. Um, it's just about preparing for that. Obviously, having a good run in the Premier League in the future would be great. Finishing this campaign off and just keep trying as best as I can to keep picking points up. But I'd definitely say leaning towards the Wales, trying to pick that world title up, especially now it's a million. It'd be good to be the first ever £1 million winner. And yeah, I'd love nothing more, to be honest. To keep pushing myself up the rankings, and obviously, if you win that Wales, that happens. So yeah, I've just got to keep working hard behind the scenes, and I'm sure that I'm going in the right way.
Maybe with some of that million, you could tempt Trent to stay, or
He could do with borrowing me 1 million, to be fair. Oh, I'd love Trent to stay. It'd be unbelievable, but yeah, I don't know whether he will or not. I still refuse to believe that he's going. I think Van Dijk was pushing him towards the crowd the other day when he scored, and yeah, it'll be an emotional day if he does leave. I wish him every success, and then who knows, one day he could come back and play for the Reds if he does leave. But yeah, fingers crossed he doesn't leave.
just Steve.
Thank you.
Stephen, we know that you'll get loads of support in Liverpool tomorrow, but you get so much support anyway. How much will that help you? Because someone like Gavin Price, who maybe doesn't get that support every week, turns on with Cardiff, it's a little bit different. Whereas for you, it might be just the same as every other week.
Yeah, no, I feel even when we played in Germany and Rotterdam, even though obviously the latter, when I played Michael van Gerwen, I was never expecting to have many fans. But yeah, I feel it every week, to be fair, not just in the venues, but on the social media. The love that people have for me is brilliant. And listen, it's mutually respected back as well. I love my fans. I think they've helped me win so many things. The Masters was a massive catalyst for me when I was in the venue playing one of the biggest names in the sport, and they were all shouting for me. So I think the Premier League's really helped. I do find that the fans do help when I'm up there, and sometimes, especially the first 8 weeks, it was a really lonely place. But the fans never ever turned their back on me. They were always there in the drove supporting me, and yeah, that's emotional in itself, to be honest. To be able to say that and to have them fans behind me all the time is incredible.
It's your local Premier League, but it's also quite close to Luke Littler. And we saw last year he had a bit of banter with the crowd over the football score. And we've seen that quite a lot. It's part of his personality on stage, but sometimes he can maybe step over that line of banter and gets on the wrong side. We've seen it a few times in Germany. Do you feel like he needs to sort of find that line between having that banter but not antagonizing the crowd a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's a dangerous path that you could go down, and obviously you don't want to get the fans hating you. It's about, for me, it's always been about showing my personality, whether it be TikTok or YouTube, and showing what I'm about, showing the fans something different, a different side. I know football rivalries aside, people will boo and cheer for the favourites, but for me, it's always been about that, about giving back to the fans, and yeah, it's so important that Liverpool, I know for a fact that they're all going to be behind me. Luke, like you said, he's put a few posts on socials about not going back to Germany. Well, if he doesn't go back to Germany, that means I'm in the World Cup, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Cheers, Stephen. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Stephen, on the football, would you rather you were champions before you play tomorrow?
Well, no, I'd rather beat your boys.
Oh, you'll beat us. Don't worry about that.
I think I'd rather, yeah, I think I'd rather Arsenal win, and then it's in our hands. Then we've got to win a football match rather than just be given a trophy. I think it'd mean more for the fans that we actually win the trophy.
If you were to, or if Arsenal were to lose, though, the atmosphere would go up tenfold tomorrow, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it'd just be unbelievable in the venue. To be fair, and it's a possibility. Is it Palace?
Yeah.
Palace are a tough side, so it's no gimme that Arsenal are going to win tomorrow. So tonight, isn't it?
Tonight, yeah.
Tonight, sorry. Yeah, it's no gimme that they're going to win tonight. So I'll be watching it with my Crystal Palace hat on, and yeah. But if not, we'll just have to beat your boys.
Is this the first time in a long time that darts has really crossed over into many other sports, not just one or two? Because we're seeing obviously links to boxing and so on. And is this the first time that darts has really crossed, do you feel?
Yeah, no, I think so. I think obviously Fallon, when Fallon won it back in the day, and she won that game in the Ali Pali, and Billie Jean King from the tennis era was tweeting. We've had golfers tweet, and we get personal messages from boxers and stuff like that. So it's amazing. It's a great time to be part of the dart scene. Obviously the prize money's helped. The Luke Littler stuff has helped as well. He's pushed our sport, brought the demographic down, and you see a lot more young kids getting into it now. I've just done a bullseye math session with a load of 8-year-olds, and they were asked, had they ever thrown darts before? And 95% of them put their hands up and said they had. So that just goes to show where our sport is at the minute. If you'd have asked that question maybe 10 years ago, maybe one or two would have put their hands up. So yeah, our sport's in a great position.
Cheers, Stephen.
Thank you.
One.